LastPass is going down like the Titanic. Are you on the Titanic right now? What's going on, everybody? This is Burrs. As you know, I'm in the cybersecurity profession, and this is definitely something that everyone needs to know, just because a lot of people use LastPass and their entire lives are wrapped around using LastPass and having everything in LastPass in relation to banking, social media, streaming services, etc. First, LastPass was hacked, and the hackers have your vaults. Everyone's vault. Everyone that uses LastPass, your vault has been taken by the hackers. They have it offline. The problem with that is they're going to try to crack into it. So if you have a weak password, listen up. There's a short-term and there's a long-term concern. Both need to be addressed. Short-term concern, if you have a weak master password on your LastPass, like Sally123, you definitely got to go in, not inside LastPass. I don't recommend you keep using LastPass, but you need to go change your passwords immediately. Now, when I say change your password, I don't mean change the 2 at the end to a 3. I mean change it. If they already have what your password is at some point in the future, they're obviously going to try that password with a couple different combinations at the end that you might just change it. Change it completely. Long-term concern, if you have a strong master password, this is something that can come back to bite you down the road. Far down the road. Again, go in and change your passwords. That's the long and short-term concerns that I see. The thing you gotta think about is long-term, is LastPass gonna be around? So your data that's in LastPass is gonna stay there. Is LastPass gonna go under? Is it even gonna be a thing after a year? We're not sure. So I say move to another password platform. When you change your passwords, don't save those new passwords in LastPass. They have horrendous security ethics based off the last 6 months of how they've presented this hack to the world. So I just wouldn't recommend using them any further, which I don't. Moving forward, what you have to think about is multi-factor authentication. This, no matter what, you should have multi-factor authentication enabled where available. Particularly banks, anything financial, 100% enable multi-factor authentication where available. If you have a bank that doesn't have that, you better have a really strong password in place. 15 characters or more. I say passphrases. Don't think of it like passwords. Passphrases. On top of that, if you're using something like Bitwarden or like a password manager, you can make a crazy password that you don't even need to know, that's very jumbled. You can even generate one in there by yourself, and then use that instead. But the longest password available, if you don't have multi-factor authentication, honestly, move banks. It's 2023. If you don't have multi-factor authentication, what's wrong with your banking? So those are the basics. Change all your passwords. Don't save them in LastPass. Move to another password platform when you do that, and then delete all your data out of LastPass after you're comfortable with everything that you've transferred out. You can do the export feature. There's a lot of different tutorials out there to do that. Lastly, the hackers got a lot of personal information. IP addresses, your usernames, the sites and URLs that you've gone to and saved stuff to. The only stuff that was really encrypted that they have to get into the vault for is passwords. They know the URLs, I think they know the usernames. So you have to think that phishing, fake emails, spam emails, stuff to try to get you and click stuff, that is going to increase, and it's going to increase in a very personal manner. These phishing emails that are coming out in the next year, or even longer than that, are going to look very specific, very real, because they have a lot more information on you now if you use LastPass and you're part of being hacked through LastPass. So that's the bottom line. Didn't want to take too much time, but definitely needed to get this out there, because depending on, your entire, people that use LastPass and password managers, their entire world, banking, social media, stuff like that, streaming services, whatever, Amazon, all that stuff can potentially be in someone's password manager, for lack of a better term. And if that's compromised, basically your entire life is compromised, because they can get into everything and everything at that point if they get access to the vault. So pay attention. Hopefully this has helped you out. If you have any information or any questions, go ahead and put them in the description down below. I use Bitwarden. I recommend Bitwarden. Again, hopefully you weren't part of this, or hopefully that you've already moved on from it. Hopefully you've heard the news. If you haven't, there's the news. Move on from LastPass. If you guys have any questions or anything, let me know. Until next time, later.